It's not any of the rest of it. You do what you have to do. And I'm in love with those little old ladies. So when you see me trying to do something, and I hope I'm doing it right, it's because I see those little old ladies. When my grandmother, Emma Lou, she's a wonderful woman. When Emma Lou died, there were two sisters that lived down the street, or lived a couple of blocks away. One was blind. And I don't know how they heard, but I was there sitting on grandmother's porch. And the one who was blind was being led. And they came and said, "We heard Emma Lou died." And I said, "Yes, ma'am, she did." And they bought 2 duck eggs. You talk about crying. They bought 2 duck eggs and said, "This is for her." And it was just the sweetest thing. And that's the community. And so the rest of it, I really don't care about. I don't know how to tell you that. I know it. Yeah. I really don't.
No, I hear you. Look, I hear you. I hear you. Wow, that was so good. Morgan said at the beginning of this broadcast that her and I were roommates, Morgan, my co-founder, living in Atlanta, and I literally had your poem, Revolutionary Dreams, taped to the front of my bedroom door. And you could not enter my bedroom, not man, not woman, not nobody, until you read Revolutionary Dreams. That poem, which look, this is not a poetry slam, so I'm not going to do you like that. I'm not going to start reciting your poetry right now, but I can and have and will on a dime. But that poem, as a Black girl who never had language, who never had models, who herself was just floundering and trying to have a North Star, that poem was the first time somebody had articulated to me that I could have a revolution and be who I wanted to be. And I'm wondering, I saw recently, I've been studying all of your interviews, that you don't go back and really read your own poetry. So I'm wondering, who are you reading though? And do you, just like Revolutionary Dreams for me that's my go-to, like when I'm in a downtime, who is your go-to? Like who are you reading? Who is inspiring you? When you need some pepping up, like who is it? We need to know.
Well, I really love a young woman named Renee Watson. And I keep claiming, my mother was a Watson, Yolanda Cornelia Watson. Grandmother was Emma Louvenia Watson. She married John Brown Watson. And Renee Watson is a writer. And so I said to Renee, I wrote her a fan letter. I've only written 2 fan letters in my life. And one was to Toni Morrison, and the other was to Renee. And I said, "We're claiming you, girl. You know, you're not getting away. You can to us. We got you." And I really like what she's doing. I like just the way she goes about her life. And of course, I was very, very fortunate to have taught Kwame Alexander. And Kwame has just gone on to just fly. I mean, he's so wonderful. And he has built a lot. You talk about building a community. Kwame has built a community. But right now, being stuck in the house, I've been doing a lot of thinking. And a lot of the thinking goes back to, I had to write. And I'm just lucky I got it done today. Otherwise, I'd be in a bad mood. I had promised to do an article on Toni Morrison, and I got it done about 20 minutes ago, maybe half an hour ago, so that I could sit down here, and I'm so glad. And when my mother died, I was, you're sad. And my mother died on June 24th, and then my sister died on August 5th. So I had to do what had to be done. They have to be buried. You have to do it. And I got it done. But I was sitting being sad. And I couldn't think of anybody I really wanted to talk to. I called Toni because we are friends. Well, I hate verbs that you don't know what to do with it. But I called Toni. And I was just sharing with her how I felt. And she listened and listened and listened. And she finally said, "Nikki, write." She said, "I got to go, girl, right." I thought, well, that makes sense. So you're right about that, but that was R-I-T-E, so R-I-G-H-T. And so I've reread. I have reread Morrison, of course, and who can't. You reread, you reread Toni Morrison. And I'm glad that something like The Bluest Eye or Sula didn't get made into a bad movie. I'm not saying that Beloved was a bad movie, but I'm just saying I'm glad that you have to go back to the book.
Nikki. That's why I love you, though. I'm not even kidding. You was off the chain in D.C. I love you. You are so raw and honest and beautiful. And man, Oh, you have just taught me to just like put your tongue out, put your voice out. Yes, I love that. Oh, that's so funny.